Hello everyone, REVAK Tech here, and today we're going to be doing a speed test comparison between the iPhone 5S running iOS 7 versus the iPhone 5S running iOS 11. So, let's begin. See, this is an iPhone 5S running iOS 7.1.1, there's the model number, and just in case if you do not believe me even more, there is the body. And this device here is running iOS 11.2.5, and there's the model number, it's the iPhone 5S. There's the back again. So yes, these are genuine versions of their OS. They're not any sort of like dual boot or anything like that. They are the actual versions. They're the actual versions of the device. So let's get started with this. So what we're going to do first is do a shutdown and boot up test. So let's turn these devices off. So now let's try to do these in sync. So I'm going to let go in 3, 2, 1. So they let go around the same time. So now we're just going to give it a few seconds to make sure they're both completely off. It looks like they both shut down at the exact same time. Okay, so here we go with the boot up test. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's going to be somewhat accurate. So yeah, let's start in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, iOS 7 did start up a little bit later, but alrighty, so iOS 7 did boot up pretty quick, and alrighty, so iOS 11.2.5 did boot significantly slower than iOS 7, so that's already a sign, maybe. Alright, so first I'm going to click the app switcher and clear out, and we're going to start off with something more basic, or not really basic, but something relatively not intensive. So as they are both connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and let's start off by opening the message app. So let's start that in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so iOS 11 did start up a little bit later, and there was really no stutter with this. This one opened up pretty quick, so that's good. Now let's open up the phone app in 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, that was a big difference. This one started up like a second later. Now let's open up something more intensive like the App Store. So open in 3, 2, 1. There's a little bit of stutter to the 5S on iOS 11, and as you can tell, the 5S on iOS 7 loaded that immediately. This one took a little bit longer. So as you notice, the iOS 11 animations to open and close apps are significantly reduced. This one's using older animations, still beats it in loading times. So let's do another test. The camera in 3, 2, 1. 5S on iOS 7 did beat it. Now let's do something, the iTunes Store. So opening that in 3, 2, 1. There's a little bit of a stutter on iOS 11, and as you can see, iOS 7 did beat that one significantly also. So if we close out of there, let's open up something more like Safari. So if we open that up, as you can see, iOS 11 did load that a little bit slower and still loading those. Alright, let's load up the Apple website and see which one loads faster. So 3, 2, 1. Alright, so iOS 11 did beat that because it's using a newer engine, and iOS 7 wasn't too far behind, but it still was. iOS 11 still came out on top, which is expected because it's using a 4-year-old browser engine, so that should be fine. So closing out of that, let's open up Photos in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so iOS 7 did load that one faster. Let's open up Clock in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, there's a stutter with iOS 11. So if we open up Settings, the last app in 3, 2, 1. iOS 7 did beat that a little bit faster. So essentially, as you can tell, iOS 11 is slower in almost every single test. So we're going to be doing a test that I always do with these speed tests. It's open, fully load, and then close the app on every stock application on the device. So from the Messages app all the way to FaceTime or Message or the Mail app, all the way to the stuff in the folders. So I'm going to time lapse that, and yeah, I'm going to have a timer right here. So let's get started with that. The iPhone 5S running iOS 7.1.1 took a whole minute and 4 seconds to open, fully load, and close every single stop application. So this should be a little bit slower on iOS 11, but iOS 7 does have reduced applications. There's not as many stock applications as iOS 11, but we should still see which one comes out on top. So let's start off next with the iPhone 5S running iOS 11. So let's begin with that. So it took iOS 11.2.5 2 minutes, 21 seconds, and 26 milliseconds. Now I'd scratch about 5 seconds off that because the TV app wasn't loading, and I don't know if I was going to wait longer or not, but I think it wasn't working at all. So I'd say this is about 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So yeah, it's significantly slower than iOS 7. iOS 7 took 1 minute and 4 seconds. This took 2 minutes and 21 seconds. So I guess there's a big difference there. As you can tell, 1 minute and 4 seconds versus 2 minutes and 16 seconds is significantly slower. I mean, that's a whole extra minute and a half almost. So I guess right there is proof enough that you shouldn't update your iPhone 5S to iOS 7, or if you just want to watch the video for fun, or, just what the heck, you want to just see the difference between iOS 7 and iOS 11. So, yeah, I do apologize that this cable is plugged in. This device keeps on dying. I think this has a terrible, bad battery inside of it. Yeah, it's at 80% and it just dies. So, I don't know what's wrong with it exactly. It kept on doing this before I updated to iOS 11. So, whatever. It'll be plugged in. It shouldn't make a difference at all. I guess that concludes the speed test for this video. But I do want to just show a little bit differences between iOS 7 and iOS 11. Just as a little bonus. So first of all, I just want to compare Siri real quick. So yeah, that already shows you enough. Like, that was just terrible. Hello.
Hi. Hey.
So the voice is different, obviously. But just overall, iOS 7 and iOS 11 do look similar, but they aren't the same anymore. They look pretty much different now. Most of the apps are redesigned, but I do have to say, if you are going to be finding an iPhone 5S and iOS 7, well worth it. I do say it's one of my favorite devices in my collection right now. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Well, hopefully you do enjoy this video, and if you did, please smack that like button. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, links will be in the description. And as always, this is REVAK Tech, signing out.